The White House says the Justice Department and FBI have agreed to share highly classified information related to President Trump's unproven spying claims with members of Congress. But will Democrats get a seat at the table? Here to discuss, Democratic Congressman Heck from Washington. He serves on the House Intel Committee. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Senator Chuck Schumer is calling tonight for any meeting between the House Intel and the White House and leaders there in Congress, that it be bipartisan, to look at those documents. Do you think that's going to happen?
No, zero chance, probably, in all likelihood. If we use the last 14 months of the investigation as any guide, if we use what has happened in the Senate, it would be bipartisan, but I really don't have any confidence that that will be the case whatsoever, because I believe that this isn't about substance. This is about whack-a-mole, and it's monthly whack-a-mole. This is the latest, and then we'll have another one this next month when this one kind of peters out.
Another distraction.
Sure.
One distraction after another to keep people's eye off what's really going on.
Because as General Hayden said earlier, what this is really about isn't the substance of this, isn't about the counterterrorism or the criminal investigation. This is about coalescing and galvanizing the Republican base in the event that Director Mueller has findings that would arguably be considered high crimes and misdemeanors, and we know where that would lead. He wants to make sure that it would be difficult, if not impossible, to actually get to that vote.
In the opening of the show, I said what we're not discussing is, the question is what was going on inside the campaign that would warrant judges to and investigators to have to or want to look or be compelled to look into the Trump campaign. That's really the question. That's really what we should be discussing.
Sure. 100 indictments, 19 individuals, 5 now, arguably from the Trump campaign. 2 very high up have pled guilty. 2 others and are cooperating witnesses. The other are contending it, but I don't have a lot of doubt about the outcome of those 2 cases, frankly.
It's a witch hunt, though.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's what this is. This is CNN's Jake Tapper. He's reporting tonight that allies of President Trump and it's Steve Bannon, it's Corey Lewandowski, it's Dave Bossie, and it's Steve Cortez, who happens to be a commentator here on CNN. They want to attack Rod Rosenstein as part of the so-called deep state. Do you believe that this is a larger part, an effort by the president and his allies in Congress to, outside of government, to discredit the special counsel?
100%. It's what I hoped I had just said. Moreover, I think what we're observing here is the de facto firing of John Kelly.
Well, this is one of the other part. I mean, there is an investigation that is taking place, and the president has ordered an investigation of the investigators. But this is the political part of it. These are the folks who are going out, and they're going to be his mouthpieces. So it's this is different from the legal part.
John Kelly isn't managing any of this, even though he's the president's chief of staff. I'm a former chief of staff of a governor.
So why isn't he listening to John Kelly?
Because he has de facto fired him. That's the reality. John Kelly is no longer in charge of the president's most important agenda items. I know of no theory of management nor leadership that says when you create this kind of competition between the people who work for you on the inside and those who informally advise you from the outside, and that's always a good idea to have that component be a part of your administration. But I know of no theory that says getting these people on separate pages serves the cause. Leadership is getting people on the same page.
Yeah. The president today was thanking Nunes. I want you to watch it. Here we go.
And a very courageous man. He's courageous. Congressman Devin Nunes. Thank you very much, Devin, for being here. Appreciate it.
Devin Nunes is the chairman of the House Intel Committee. What do you say?
Well, I've already told you on your program before that I find the members of the majority of the Republican to be largely complicit in this. And what's so discouraging about it, frankly, from a big picture point of view, is that they are completely abdicating their check and balance responsibility. This isn't a parliamentary system. We're a separate branch of government, and we have a check and balance responsibility, which we're not fulfilling. Instead, they're being cheerleaders on his behalf.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about the meeting. This was another meeting that no one knew about, and it came out recently. That
the second Trump Jr. meeting?
Yeah, Trump Jr. with the representative of Saudi Arabia and the UAE with it, and also an Israeli social media strategist that offered the Trump campaign, this is according to the New York Times, information and to try to, I guess, get a negative social media strategy against his opponent. So what do you think about this meeting? And you did not know this when you were investigating.
So it's interesting that in all the discussions and all the interviews and all of the investigative reports done by all the news media, that never was this discovered until recently. And it seems to me that it's Exhibit A on why it was incredibly premature for House Republicans to shut down the investigation.
I was going to say, why didn't the House investigation get to that?
Right, because they didn't want to get to it. Furthermore, I think there may be some significance here that if it is true, and let's assume for the time being that it is yet to be established as fact, but it appears to be. If it is true, Donald Trump Jr.'s legal troubles are mounting. And it will be interesting to see how Dad responds to that if they are beginning to close in on Donald Trump Jr.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Congressman.
Don.
I appreciate it. When we come back, Rudy Giuliani says Robert Mueller hopes to wrap up his investigation by September 1st, but an awful lot of deadlines have already come and gone. So where's this one coming from? I want you to take a look at this. These are live pictures. Thousands of people forced to flee as a volcano in Hawaii erupts. And now there is a new threat. We're going to have more. That's coming up.